we want to do our top 5 musical biopics.
Right.
And so I'll start with you, Pete.
Starting with me. Okay. Yeah, this one was tough. I mean, there was a few that I wanted to put on there and I didn't put
Well,
I didn't
why don't, let's do honorable mention last. We don't want to bury the lead here.
Okay.
So tell your top 5, then we'll do honorable mentions after mine.
Top 5 music biopics by Peter Escarcega. Number 5 for me is one of the lesser known ones, but it's an amazing Clint Eastwood movie. It's Jersey Boys. I've seen it several times. It's about Frankie Valli, and it is an amazing movie.
It's good. It's good.
That one actually goes through an entire progression from start to finish, the ups and downs of what Frankie Valli had to go through and continued to go through until the day he died. And amazing movie, really well done. The kid who played Frankie Valli is incredible. Even the best friend, who's like a real jerk, he's so good. And
it's good. It's a good film. Obviously, it's a excellent Broadway show as well.
Yeah. Number 4 for me is Ray. I remember when Ray came out and I watched it and I was mesmerized from start to finish. It was well done. The fact that Jamie Foxx not only is a brilliant actor, but the fact that he played the piano and sang and sat with Ray Charles and learned how to play like Ray Charles for this role is incredible. And he pulled it off beautifully. The story was well done, and it was beautiful. Number 3 for me is Walk the Line. As I mentioned earlier, it's a stunning film from start to finish. A beautiful way to tell a biopic and to kind of go through the whole story. And I thought Joaquin Phoenix, even though he didn't look like him, but boy, did he sound like him. And he really did a great performance. Number 2 is Bohemian Rhapsody. Incredible film. I have some friends who are like diehard Queen fans who didn't really like it that much because it didn't really show and follow and all this other stuff. But for just a novice Queen fan, I thought it was brilliant. I thought Freddie Mercury was brilliant in it. What's his name?
Rami Malek.
Rami Malek.
Rami Malek won he won the best actor award, right, for that?
Yeah, he won it. He was brilliant. The reason why I put this at number 2, this was going to be my number 5, but I put it at number 2 because of that last 10 to 15 minute sequence when they're at the Live Aid concert.
Yeah.
If you ever watch a side by side on YouTube of what they shot for the film and the actual camera angles that they broadcast, I mean, it's identical. It's really, really well done. Number 1 for me, because I'm a huge Doors fan. It's the Doors. I mean, it was dark and it was I remember I was watching it and our mom walked in and it was like in one of the nude scenes and the naked scenes. She's like, "This is pornography." And I'm like, "No, it's not, I swear." But it was risque for sure. I thought Val Kilmer was.
The funny thing, it's like not even like compared to movies.
Oh, please.
I mean,
compared to like nowadays, it's like reading the Bible.
Yeah.
And Val Kilmer was
quote unquote.
Yeah.
The Doors is like reading the Bible.
It's just as good.
Yeah.
And Val Kilmer was brilliant. And the rest of the people who play the Doors. I mean, I studied the Doors in high school and I knew everything about them. And I knew that, it was played up for a movie, but still it was brilliantly done. My top beautiful list. I mean, it's perfect.
Yeah.
And you know which one I left out too.
Well, because I left some off myself, but so we'll go on our mention after I do my list.
Yep.
But I got one, I mean, kind of controversial list, but we'll see. My number 5 is Green Book, and Green Book won the Oscar, and that's with Viggo Mortensen and Mahershala Ali. And what I loved about that film, and what I love about a good biopic, is if you don't really know the artist, Don Shirley, this film really helps you understand different artists and get to learn great music that you may not have heard or may not have been super popular. And so that's what I love doing the research for Green Book and learning about Don Shirley, and then actually listen to his albums and the music and whatnot. And, there's so many different, obviously thematic stuff with Green Book, and then just the acting, and obviously just different time period. But learning about Don Shirley was such a fascinating journey, and I really loved his music as well. And so Green Book is number 5, barely beating out some honorable mentions.
That's a sneaky great pick.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it, and I didn't know it was a biopic. I didn't know it was about a musician in his life.
yeah, and I ended up watching it like 3 times. I bought it, which is why it's number 5 compared to some of the other ones that I knocked out. And I might change this.
Good job.
I may change it. So number four, I actually have Walk the Line, but I'm gonna take that off because I actually haven't like fully seen it. I know how good of a film it is, but I'm actually gonna put Bohemian Rhapsody there.
Okay.
Instead, just because I do agree with a lot of what you're saying. I forget some of the things I had issues with on the film, but overall, it's a great film. Again, you get to really highlight the music of Queen, and it's really entertaining film. My number 3, and this is going to be a shocker coming from a West Coast guy, but it's Notorious, which is the Notorious B.I.G. film.
Really?
And I mean, obviously, just growing. I mean, I had to choose between this and All Eyes on Me, and obviously, I love Tupac's music probably more than B.I.G. But I think this is a better film. Like you just
alienated half of our audience.
I know. But I think this is just a better film, and a lot of people would probably agree with me. Like All Eyes on Me is a good film, and like I said, I like the music better in that film. But in pure filmmaking, Notorious B.I.G. was just a really, really well done film. And then again, just putting his whole life story together was just awesome to see on the page. Number 2, which will put me back on the West Coast, is Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah, that was the one I didn't put in.
Watching how kind of it all got started. And again, a lot of it takes place in LA and all that good stuff. I mean, I was too young when NWA first came out in terms of like understanding who they were and all that. But, after going through it all and then being able to watch and witness this on film. But yeah, just the acting performances by all the rappers in it. I mean, O'Shea Jackson Jr., I've never seen such a dead ringer. I mean, obviously, he's a son, right? But how often is the son actually a good actor and can actually execute and hit a very well-known actor, rapper, performer, entertainer like Ice Cube? I mean, he nailed it.
Right.
One of the greatest performances. And then Corey Hawkins as Dr. Dre was really good. And Corey Hawkins did a couple other great films. Jason Mitchell's Eazy-E. But there's just R. Marcus Taylor as Suge Knight. I mean, again, this is just the acting in it is so powerful, and again, some of these guys, but then to see it actually executed, and it was so well done and written.
Yeah, it was between that and Jersey Boys. I went Jersey Boys.
Yeah, and then my number one is Ray, and again, kind of the same thing as Green Book. I mean, I didn't really. I mean, I know who Ray Charles was, but I didn't really know all of his music. And then, watching that film, you're like, oh, I know that song. Oh, I know that song. And,
yeah, that was on the Cosby Show.
Yeah. Just learning. Yeah, exactly. Me just learning more about an amazing artist like Ray Charles. But then what I also loved about it was also, again, seeing the dark side and to see what brought him down. And this is, again, why I'm holding Elvis to a high standard, because I feel like Ray is how to do a biopic of showing both the great and the bad. And really not apologizing for it, but just showing the full story.
They didn't shy away from it one bit, and they had his sign off as well. And so that you have a great point, and all of our top movies have really shown the legendary aspects, but also the darker aspects as well. I mean, each one actually shows all of them. Yeah.
I think
I'll tell you my one other honorable mention was Amadeus. And if you haven't seen Amadeus,
I haven't seen it. It's a good one though.
Brilliant. It's really well done. It's done by the point of view of like the guy that was number one before Mozart came around.
Right.
he was like the go-to guy for all things opera and everything. And then all of a sudden this young kid comes around and he's just like, oh no, you got to do it like this. And he just like creates a whole symphony with his fingers in about 5 seconds. And it's all about his just jealousy and just, it's really great. It's really,
I believe that won Best Picture too. So, I mean,
yeah,
can't go wrong there.
That won a ton of awards.
I got a sneaky honorable mention, Pete, and I have to mention this because this is one of the greatest films of all time as well. And it's Walk Hard, the story of Dewey Cox.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
You haven't seen Walk Hard? Oh my goodness, it's so good, especially because you like Walk the Line.
No, I know.
It is one of the best like spoof type films with John C. McGinley. Yeah, and Jenna Fisher is, yeah, it's so good. Like literally, if you want to laugh, like I think it's literally up your wheelhouse because it's Ray, it's Walk the Line. I forget what other kind of things they spoof, but this is John C. McGinley's wheelhouse, and Tim Meadows is in it too. And I can't even say the jokes because you won't even get them. But
I won't get them.
So many good jokes. So you got to walk that. I think we have it.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
That's on a star. So I had to mention that as my honorable mention, just because if that was an actual, I would have put that on the list if it was an actual.
If it was real.
If it was real, yeah.